Hi guys, and welcome to May Is Your Ex Coming Back series. So this is dedicated to the people who kind of like still have this connection to their ex, or they're feeling the ex might be coming back. Just keep in mind that if you kind of decide in your head that you don't want to take him or her back, that's the final answer. So that kind of like trumps any other influence, and you already know what you're going to do about it. Still, sometimes it's fun to see how they're thinking in their own head. I'm going to show you the significators because I have developed this spread. It took me quite a while to actually find a combination, and you can imagine finding a combination of 7. We have here in Ontario 749, so you pick 7 numbers out of 4 and 9, so I picked 7 numbers out of 78, so actually much harder, so hence it is really difficult to do this. But finally I find something that really works, and these cards are from a different deck. Think of that as the chapters of the book. I'm going to explain to you what they mean. So before I get there, just to let you know that I actually started a first group of tarot school. I'm really excited, and I'm so excited because everybody in the school is like so much fun. It's just like, oh my gosh, you want more? Here, more. If ever in life, you know, one can actually wish for it, this was the one. And oh my gosh, I have to tell you, I am so excited. So the next round is going to be the 15th of May. You can sign up. The link is in the description box. And I actually decided I'll have small, basically groups. Initially, I thought it's going to be a self-study, no guidance of mine. But I'm actually interacting by actually fixing the homework, checking the homework, giving guidance. So hence it's going to be more of my hands-on. So you can join in. Now I'm getting a clear idea how this is going to go. And as I said, it's going to be a limited group, maybe 10 at a time. I kind of like took, I think, quite a bit in this first round, but that's okay because I love how insistent and how basically intense they are, because they're going to make this really good for everybody else who follows. So okay, so let's jump into this. This X spread kind of like has this elements, has this, let's call it dimensions, that I really want to address over here. And they make sense. You see, in this group that is represented with the magician, I want to see what in this relationship works, and sort of like what are these like brownie points that you can earn like without much effort. So also it's going to tell me if this relationship was ever a go. In the second house, the temperance is reversed purposely because temperance usually makes things work. But I really want to see what is tearing this relationship apart and why the issues have been experienced over there. Then we have 2 significators. One, and I don't go with astrological things, and if you ever go in my school you will understand why. And this is basically telling me what kind of like personality you have to be when you date, because we're not the same person when we date and when we settle in. So hence it's going to be 1 significator and a second significator. And here, and the cat is trying to destroy my headset over here. Here we are going to see the energy in between, like this like flow of love and exchange and what's going on. And now these 2 cards, the Judgment, is going to tell me what karma is thinking about this whole mix. Is this doable? Is it workable? How to go about that, right? And lastly, we will have the 4 of Wands. Generally, 4 of Wands always talks about the next stage. So what is the next stage in this relationship? Is it good? Is it bad? It's going to depend on the sign. And lastly, how I do the signs. Keep in mind that most of us are just humans. I'm sorry, I actually live in a very quiet part of Toronto, really very much to the river and forest, but sometimes we get these noises, especially at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you are watching this because you're still connected, sometimes we have the karmic bond, sometimes like it takes time to get over a relationship, then it is really good to check for both of you. It's also good to check for your partner's Mars sign, because Mars sign tells you really what they want. You can just Google, find the free natal chart for anybody, and you will figure out what is a Mars sign for somebody. And that way we can kind of like determine really what is the really good chance of this relationship. And last point, guys, this is a general reading, so I'm focusing on you, and you already have you and somebody else in mind. You're already holding the energy of not only 2 main signs, but also their ascendants and everything else. So I'm accumulating all this energy, focusing on it, shuffling the cards toward that energy, and delivering. It is different when I'm doing the private reading, and this spread is on the special. It is still $50. I'm keeping it because when people are in distress, I really don't want to make money of them. The regular price for this is $65, but I have been keeping it discounted. And now it's also a speed up promotion that is happening simultaneously. So instead of waiting 3 weeks for this to come back to you, you're getting it within a week. So it is a good deal to try it. So let's start with Maze. Is your ex coming back? This is your May. Is your ex coming back series. So let's see what we have. This really jumped at me because when Ace of Swords comes reversed, it kind of like means some lies, some truth hasn't been told. There are issues in the situation, right? The participation of a person is needed, but somebody wants to do things certain way on their own terms. I do not think that you're together with your ex, even though ex series means you're not with them. Some people come here because they have a wobbly relationship or had an argument. Because look at this, we have the swords, lots of thinking. Some of you are oriented to, I have been lied to. I have been lied to. This is going into something serious, into the next stage. And there is like this sense of abruptness, a sense of something not being said, or worse yet, of somebody really being harsh in how they approach this, right? But it looks like the partner also feels a little bit stuck in a situation, but also very defensive. Very kind of, no, I'm standing at my place. So, but the way they kind of come across, the way they appear, is not necessarily how they feel. Because you see, this card, Eight of Swords, always talks about fear, but it can talk about denial. And this is a good word to understand. Sometimes we lie ourselves. Sometimes we want to hear lies, because if we hear the truth, then we have to deal with this. So this could be one of those situations where it's almost easier to accept somebody gaslighting us, or telling us that certain things didn't happen, or having things on their terms, than really kind of like asserting ourselves. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, they seem to be very to themselves. They build walls. Oh my gosh, Cancer. I actually do not have any card yet to show me that there is a third person, or there has been cheating. Let me correct that, has been cheating. But it is telling me that some of you kind of like really wanted to stay within that relationship no matter what, right? But this person, oh, this is kind of interesting. We have the Hierophant, Pentacle, 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 right? So this person is saying, look, you know what? I have been sort of like being pushed out of my own comfort zone. I kind of like right now have to stabilize myself. I have to figure out what they want, what they need. The Hierophant is the marriage card. That's why I'm kind of a little bit confused. Why is it here? Does this person want marriage? Do they really want to continue? Was there a problem? Maybe somebody said, hey, I don't want to be single. Maybe I were like you promised to me or something like that. And the other person freaked out, kind of a thing, right? It happens. It happens actually quite frequently just before, you know, the final stage. It's like you're running a marathon and then like last 100 meters, you're like, oh no, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. And then you do it anyway. The Hierophant also talks about adhering to some kind of principles of groups. Maybe somebody's not of the same religious background. Maybe somebody is from, I was just about to say different planet. Well, I might as well be. Somebody who just simply operates on different kind of things. It's kind of weird how many pentacles I have. It almost like looks like I'm getting the energy from many of you who actually already have been in established relationships. Because this worries me about you, Cancer. These 2 9s have been reversed. You're kind of like not able to find your sea legs, that silver lining in this whole situation. You are carrying that burden of something. It's like, look, there is a 1, there is a 10. There is like this, no, I am not negotiating. I don't want to halfway. And here is telling me that this person is not able to give you what you want. And they are very, very clear about that. This could be 1 or 2 children involved in that situation. So when we get to the stage of 7 of Pentacles, we want everything. We want this tree. We want fruit. We want lots of apples. We want apple pie. But we have just a shrub. So very much like in this relationship, you're being told, or you want it. I want a marriage. I want the ring. I want the house. I want the dog. So I'm saying, well, how about a supper, right? Kind of jumping too fast, too high, can be bad in the long run. Because the advice to you guys is saying, look, just try to pay attention to what makes you happy. Because right now it tells me that you're very unhappy. And you need to know which things, like you're handling too many things at the same time. And it's breaking your back. You literally have to figure out how to focus on things, how to maybe be kind of slow and steady. This is what all these pentacles do. There is certainly a way, or better to say no way, that you can penetrate into this person's psyche right now. They're like literally, like, you know, clam closed down. So do you want to bang on that clam, or do you want to wait? Let's see what happens. Yeah, this relationship definitely needs to stabilize. See what they said and what they want to do. They also want to kind of spend some time on their own. They do want something that is this is very earthy pleasure. So we are talking about dinners. We are talking about let's walk the dog. We are talking about let's curl up on a couch and watch a movie, right? You're talking slower things, enjoying food, enjoying that glass of wine, enjoying that, you know, kiss. It's also very sensual, but it's not committal. Like, looks like ladies more or less want to commit. Men, I am kind of fine at that level. So where it's heading, it's saying, look, I really need to know where I am, because these things that we are currently going through are generating bad karma. This is my karma card. You see, this is from my old deck. And, you know, you're saying, I don't know if I can handle. See, the only situation with this card is to say, let bygones be bygones. And it's so hard, right? And I think you actually are able to do that. And look, you're offering the pure love. It's okay, let's restart. It's fine, let's restart. Let's right now focus on stabilizing and controlling this relationship, right? And he's on board. He's on board, not into, again, I'm going to give you the ring. I'm going to say, okay, let's just not commit. So this could be friends with benefits guy, right? We see it here, but he's actually even taking a further, or she, the partner, further step back. And like, that's the done for a reason, saying, look, I also need to figure out what I want. This whole thing kind of confused me as well. You see this confusion with him quite a bit. With you guys seems to be emotional confusion. I guess you're Cancer after all. Everything with you is kind of processed through emotions, and did somebody wrong you, did not wrong you, and this is right and this is wrong. It's based on emotions, right? And the Hermit also is an earth sign. So as far as the signs, if you really want to go into that, like I'm seeing certain things that are kind of stressing stuff. This is also earth sign. So we are only missing the Devil, the Capricorn. But you guys have quite a bit of influences. You have Scorpio influence, you have Aries influence, you have Taurus influence, you have Capricorn influence, you have Virgo influence. Over here you have like air signs influences. So, you know, it basically shows that there are like so many layers that are happening over here. So for you guys, good news, bad news. Good news, things will actually move forward. Bad news, are not going to move forward with that kind of like step on the pedal, let's go all the way. No, it's going to be, let's not step on the pedal, let's take this tricycle and see a little bit, let's go to this parquet and, you know, hold hands. In any relationship, when things don't really work out, when you have a massive argument, or you feel you have been lied to, betrayed to, that there was some kind of fear or denial over here, it's always good to take a step back. So you see, something was going too far too fast. So what it means stepping back, if you're having huge relationship in the marriage, it's good to say, okay, you know what, one person is moving out, kind of like temporary separation. If you're dating, you're steady, you're engaged, it's okay, you know what, let's postpone that engagement. If, you know, things are going and you're in a steady relationship and this is like just not working out, so you know what, let's go back to dating, because obviously we are miserable, we have to figure out how not to do it. And this is game of life, we kind of have to go through these stages, and it's never good, it's not in our nature to go behind, but it is what it is. And guys, this is done for the right reasons. This person has really good things in their heads. They really want to stabilize and maybe even actually put the ring on it, but they're very slow in how they're going about that. So let me know, guys, what you think, and especially if you're cross watchers, it would be good to get your input, guys, so Cancers can see that themselves. And just remember that if Cancer wronged you, that not all Cancers are the same. Every sign has their own bad seeds, so just keep that in mind. And this is still on a special www.cattarot.ca. You're getting your energy and then doing it a little bit differently. Then you get your past, your present, and future. So that way I can kind of like see how things are going. Thanks, Cancer, and I'm looking forward to hearing back from you. Love you.
Ah!